Good morning. Can you hear me on Zoom?
Mr. Metzgen, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Mr. Holliday.
Okay, very good. On the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Lucas Christopher Holiday, file number 22-016930D. Can I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jim Metz appearing on behalf of Lucas Holiday, appearing via Zoom. No objection to the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Today was a date that was set for sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report prepared by our probation department. It's dated for October 4th, 2022. Mr. Metz, did you get a copy of that?
I have. I've also provided a copy to Mr. Holiday. He's reviewed the same as well.
Any additions, corrections, or changes that need to be made?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed with allocution.
Briefly, Judge, Lucas has been a pleasure to work with. He's probably been one of the most sincere clients I've had as relates to his case, his incident, and his desire to not have something like this happen again. He does have no prior drinking and driving offenses. He is a high school grad. Since this case has happened on his own, he's regularly been attending AAs. In addition, again, without being court ordered to do so, he completed a substance abuse assessment at Crystal Ray Counseling Services. And he's been attending counseling, I believe, as much as 4 times a week. I actually talked with Lucas last week when I was sending him a copy of the pre-sentence report, and he expressed to me that he wasn't feeling good. Maybe it was COVID, he wasn't sure, and he was upset that he was maybe going to miss a counseling session or 2 because of that. So he's taken this very seriously. Words he's used with me have been guilt and shame that he ever put himself in this incident. I'm confident he's going to complete your probation period successfully. I think the recommendation is perfect and appropriate given him and the circumstances. There's nothing mentioned about this, but for the record, I would like to just make sure that as long as his probation officer is okay with it, and you're okay with it, that he can have employment-related purposes. He's a musician, so there may be occasions because of his employment. Obviously, he plays at an establishment like a bar. He understands he would not be able to drink while there. He understands that he would not be able to hang out there if he wasn't playing, but just so that he can have that employment opportunity. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And did Mr. Holiday want to make a statement at all?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wish to express my sincerest gratitude towards yourself, Your Honor, and towards 54A District Court and all involved for their due process and grace and fairness in handling my case. I also wish to express my own remorse in my actions, which I do realize very sincerely could have resulted in bodily harm to the victims involved and myself as well. But because of that moment, I have been on a stern path to recovery. I am 260 days sober from all alcohol and any other substance over a year now. And I just wanted to express again my gratitude towards yourself and the court. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for your candor. You seem to be on the right track. I did review your prior criminal history, which this was the only public incident on there. I feel confident just based on the information that both you and your attorney have shared today and the action that you've been taking since the time of this incident, that this is the end of that type of activity for you, and that you're going to move forward in a better direction. The pre-sentence report did opine that you scored a moderately high in needs and employment, companions, personality, and responsivity domains, but moderate low in needs for leisure activities, attitudes, and substance use domain. I think that a term or short term of probation would be appropriate so the court can monitor your progress and for you to continue the treatment that you've already engaged yourself in. We're going to order that you continue AA going to put you on a term of 6 months probation. While on probation, in addition to continuing AA, you do need to complete a victim impact panel within 90 days, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, of course.
You'll provide verification of that to your probation officer.
Yes.
You're also going to need to attend a 12-step program and provide verification of that as well, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, would it be possible, my apologies, I just wish to ask, would it be possible if I am doing intergroup AA? I've been doing that for the past almost 9 months now. And would it be possible for me to provide email verification with that?
That's correct. You'll provide that information to your probation officer though, okay?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. My apologies.
Okay, very good. As it relates to your employment, I'm going to note here that you are employed part-time as a musician. Is that the only type of employment that you have at this time?
Currently, Your Honor, yes.
While on probation is a $30 per month oversight fee that you would be responsible for. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol, marijuana, or any other controlled substance unless you have a valid prescription. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You would be required to submit to random preliminary breath test and or urinalysis testing as part of your probation. And you're not to be at any bars or nightclubs except when you are there for the purposes of your employment. I'm going to order that you provide information regarding that to your probation officer in advance. You're going to be ordered to test following every performance that's at a club or nightclub or bar, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Absolutely.
Do you have any questions at this time about the terms and condition of probation?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay, there is a $30 per month oversight fee. As I indicated before, you're going to be doing 6 months of probation. That's going to amount to $180.
Yes,
There's
Your
a
Honor.
$75 crime victim rights fee that will be assessed plus a $50 state minimum cost. There's OWI cost recovery owed to the Lansing Police Department in the amount of $518.24. That will also be assessed. I'm going to assess a fine of $200. It's a total fines and costs of $1,023.24. They'll be able to make monthly payments on that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about your fines and costs?
No, Your Honor. Nope.
Lastly, I have an advice of rights for probation early discharge. It says you have been sentenced to a term of probation in the 54A District Court. The probation conditions have been individually tailored and are specific to address your assessed risks and needs. Except for domestic violence, criminal sex crime, and stalking offenses, or an offense where the defense of guilty but mentally ill was asserted, you may be eligible for early discharge from probation. You have the following rights. You have the right to request early discharge from probation once you complete half the original term ordered by the judge. Your probation officer may, but is not required to, file a notice with the judge once you become eligible for early discharge. The probation officer must send to you and the prosecuting attorney a copy of the notice. The prosecuting attorney has 14 days after receipt of that notice to file a written objection to early discharge. You may request an early discharge from probation after reaching the following conditions. A, you have completed all the required probation programming, and B, you have not violated probation within the 3 months prior to your request. You must send a copy of your request to the probation officer and the prosecuting attorney, which is the city attorney in this case. The prosecuting attorney, again, will have 14 days after receipt of your notice to file a written objection to early discharge. If a hearing is scheduled, you have the right to hire or retain counsel to represent you for that purpose, but you do not have the right to court-appointed counsel to represent you for a hearing for early termination or discharge from probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Lastly, you may make your request for early discharge by completing a notice regarding eligibility for early discharge from probation. It's called the MC 512 form, and that form is located on the court's website, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Mhm.
Okay. Any questions about that form or about your probation conditions at this time?
No, Your Honor, everything is understandable.
Okay, thank you. I wish you good luck. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, thank you, Judge. We appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. You have a good one as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Same to you.
And thank you again.
Okay, who do you have here? Mr. Newman? On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus William Michael Newman, file numbers 21-00630 and 633. Counsel appears.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Abuela also on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, William Newman, who is present and standing to my right.
And today was the date that was set for a sentencing. How are you, Mr. Newman?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And he was to be transferred, is that what happened? Why was he sent back?
Your Honor, the sentencing in front of Judge Allen, Mr. Newman decided that he did not want to go into sobriety court. Judge Allen was very adamant that, well, do you want to?
Yeah, so when I was in there, he started going over the terms and conditions, and one of the terms and conditions for the program was that he said that I could be violated for marijuana within the household that I live in, and I currently live with my grandparents. My grandpa specifically has been growing and smoking since the 70s, and I know I could possibly work with him, but at that moment in time in court when that was going down, I hadn't spoken with him, I hadn't done anything like that, and it's his house, and I wasn't prepared to accept something that I know that wasn't 100% in my control at the end of the day. So that gave me a lot of anxiety, and I wanted to deliberate with my attorney about what the best plan of attack and what to do in this situation. And basically, when we came back in after that time, he was very put off that I was quote unquote indecisive with my actions, and in all reality, I was just trying to get a better idea of what was really going on and what was expected of me or what could have happened. As a reference to violating me, something like that could possibly been on my.
Okay, and did you communicate that to him, or did your
I did.
attorney communicate that to him?
I spoke to myself. She also did speak as well, but I spoke the majority of myself in that specific.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to refer you to probation for a PSI then, because I don't have any information about your prior criminal history, if you were assessed, which I'm assuming you were in order to get accepted into the drug court. I don't have a copy of it. So I don't have anything in preparation to consider to appropriately craft a sentence for you. I don't want to just throw you on probation just to say I put you on probation. So I'm gonna set this, I have to set this for a sentencing. I'm gonna get you referred to probation. When you leave here, you'll go downstairs to the 5th floor and they'll get you set up for your pre-sentence report. Okay? Yes.
Is it possible the victim of one of the incidences here today, and she is seeking restitution in that matter, and I don't believe that there's any objection to that restitution. Can we address the cost recovery portion today, understanding that the terms of probation may be set at a later date?
Which file? 33. 30.
33 is the older file. 30 is the
Yeah.
January 1st file.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't go in order, so 33 should be 30.
There was a car accident.
Yes. Was
There's cost recovery and restitution, or just restitution?
Well, the cost recovery, Your Honor, would be on behalf of the Lansing Police Department, and then the restitution would be for the victim who's present here today.
Okay, I do see on this file, there's $232.79 OWI cost recovery owed to the Lansing Police Department. And you are stipulating to restitution on that matter?
Yes, it's my understanding there was a $1,000 deductible paid by the victim in that case. There has been proof provided to the defense, and again, we don't, it looks like it would be granted underneath the Crime Victim Rights Act, so no, we don't have any objection.
Okay, I'll note that in the file. There's a stipulation as to that. That'll be ordered as restitution at the time of sentencing. Did the victim want to provide anything else while she was here?
I inquired, it did not appear that she wanted to make a statement.
Okay, very good. We'll set this for sentencing. December 5th. Okay. December 5th at 8:30 in the morning. If that can be held via Zoom if all parties consent.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
City does not object, Your Honor. We do.
Okay, so then that will be held via Zoom. You'll leave here again, you'll go down to the 5th floor and they'll get you set up for your pre-sentence interview. Did you undergo an assessment already?
He did back in November, October of
It's been a
last
year.
year, so they might have.
Okay, we'll order that you get a new assessment done. Any additional matters for the record today?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
None for defense.
Okay, you're all set for today. We'll get you the referral and then you can go downstairs. Leave that door open somehow because it's just a lot. Mr. Nagel, who do you have?
Here on, Mr. Megan,
Okay.
motion to suppress.
Guy Ross here? Oh, okay. Let me handle this. Did you turn your phone off?
Yes, ma'am, again, I apologize. for that.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Guy Dominic Ross, file number 22-01650, council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city, Your Honor.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Ross at his sentencing today.
Today's date is set for a sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. It is dated for 9/29/2021. 2022. Did you get a copy of that?
We did, Your Honor, and we don't have any corrections to it.
What'd you get it for?
2966.
Okay, you can address the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, when I was looking at Mr. Ross's history, this is the first criminal offense he's ever had at the age of 57. This was put down to an impaired driving. When they did the report, they found that he has no alcohol use disorder. This incident did not involve an accident in any way. I know he's very remorseful of having made such a poor decision and putting people in harm's way on that occasion. However, I don't think this is something that's likely to be a reoccurring thing with him. He works full-time at Community Mental Health. So taking all of that into consideration, Your Honor, his long history of not violating the law, I would ask the court to sentence him to attending the victim impact panel within 60 days and fines and costs.
I could be completely wrong. I have a criminal history here that's several pages from another state.
Oh, yeah, from California.
Okay, we have
It's
the Michigan
extensive.
one. Okay.
It's this statement in here that this is my first time in trouble.
Yeah, Michigan driver.
But yeah, no. That's not your first time in trouble, correct?
Right, but driving in Michigan wasn't.
That was not what you stated on the report. It's not even what you indicate to your attorney, because he just finished saying this is, he's not even aware of this kind of history.
Okay.
I almost need to show him this report so he can address the court differently. I mean, this is atrocious. And I think you know that.
Right, that was in my younger days, you know, so it was 30 years ago.
Not all of them. I see stuff all the way in 2008. So all of them were 30 years ago.
2008?
2011 was your last one. Yeah. Related to alcohol. That was your last one related to alcohol.
I'm not sure what that is.
Off the record. You can see this report.
using lean extensively.
You wouldn't know.
We don't have lean.
Okay. Who else do we have? Mr. Nagel,
Yes, Your Honor.
are you ready with Mr. Meggins?
Yes, we are.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Johnny Charles Miggins, file numbers 22-0182022L27235991. Council appearances.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing. Matt Nagel on behalf of Mr. Miggins, who appears to my right now.
How are you, sir? I'm doing well, thank you. Looks like there was a motion to suppress file
That's correct, Your Honor.
on the 14th. Was it set for a hearing date?
I believe it was set for today for a hearing date, Your Honor.
Possibly, because I was not in, I didn't work here on the 14th, I had the day off. So couldn't be set for today, because I wasn't here to get it.
That was the impression I got from my legal staff when we set this, when we filed the motion.
On the
I'm not
14th.
sure.
We filed it on the 14th. When I forwarded it to you, you said it was.
I think it was before the 14th.
Well, the response came on the 14th, it looks like.
The response came on the 14th. Yes,
This is the first time I saw this today.
I see.
So again, so there's nothing I can do with it unless you want to make your arguments and I can take it under advisement.
Actually, Your Honor, based on the facts as put forward in both motions, there is a difference in views of the facts, and based on that, I believe it should be set for an evidentiary.
Okay. Are you gonna be subpoenaing cases for the hearing?
I'm not seeing what's the judge right now.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, based on their response, you think that it's more appropriately addressed through evidentiary hearing than running the motion?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll give you a motion, evidentiary hearing a couple weeks out so that parties have enough time to subpoena witnesses. November 7th at 11 in the morning. Does that work for you?
It works for me, Your Honor.
Okay. Any additional matters while we're on the record today?
Just to clarify, Your Honor, that was December 7th, you said?
November 7th,
November 7th.
And that was 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters?
None for the city, Your Honor. None from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very good. We'll get you a notice to appear, sir. Thank you. From White House.
So you just can.
Back on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Guy Ross, council has had an opportunity to review the multi-state criminal history. If you want to add any further allocutions, sir.
Your Honor, I would just say that he certainly does have a history of, it looks like a lot of misdemeanor, controlled substance / alcohol kind of related disorderlies and other matters along those lines. However, as the court pointed out earlier, there hasn't been any in the last 10 years. So I think he has certainly shown that he's made significant improvement in his life leading into this incident. So I would ask the court to consider either the sentence I proposed earlier or something like, like as the recommended 6-month term of probation in this matter, if the court would like to monitor Mr. Ross to make sure that he's continuing to stay away from substances.
Thank you. I think based largely in part due to what is reflected in his multi-state criminal history, it's evident to the court that he has a substance abuse problem. I don't even know that this was taken into consideration when they did his PSI. He was indicated as being a low risk. But again, it also indicates in here that he had a clean record or clean driving record, and that this is his first time he's been in trouble. I don't consider myself a criminal or an alcoholic. I made a bad decision. I find this is an accurate representation of what he said. There to be some dishonesty as to what state or what he's been through. You can't have this kind of criminal history and then completely forget about it when you're having a pre-sentence report just because you think you're in another state. That criminal history can be pulled up, as you can see.
I understand.
So I think it's appropriate to put you on a term of probation based on this incident and your history of having substance abuse related criminal history that spans over a decade. And so we need to make sure you have not reverted, if there's not an ongoing issue that goes unaddressed and then or under addressed, and then we have a worse situation. I won't have that on my head. So with that being stated, the court will adopt the recommendation, which is to impose a sentencing of probation for 6 months. We will be reporting via Zoom. While on probation, you're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand that? You'll be required to submit to random preliminary breath tests. Be responsible for the fee associated with that. Do you understand that? Oh. Not to be in any bars or nightclubs. Any bars or nightclubs while on probation. You're not to purchase up to the firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're going to order that you participate in any programming as deemed appropriate by probation. I'm not going to specifically order you to do anything at this time because they may, through monitoring, feel like you don't need any. But that could change. So whatever they order, you need to be able and be willing to participate in. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently employed?
Yes,
You're still at Bell's Oaks?
yes, ma'am.
I'm going to order that you maintain employment while on probation. Do you have any questions about your probation at this time?
No, ma'am.
The $30 per month oversight fee that you will be responsible for while on probation. It's also a $487.26 OWI cost recovery fee that you owe to the Lansing Police Department for responding to this incident. You owe a $90 assessment fee to the probation department. On waive discretionary fines and costs, however, there is a $75 crime victim rights fee that I must assess plus a $50 state minimum cost that also must be assessed. So your total fines and costs will amount to $882.26. You'll be able to make monthly payments on that, okay? I'm gonna pass that to you so that you can review that with your attorney. And then once you have an understanding, you can sign it. If you have any questions, I'm here to help answer those. You're a quick reader.
Yeah, my hands through it. I'm willing to accept anything.
Well, this is your rights as a, how do you get,
Right, no, I see the rights. yeah.
that's
I
for
have
you
rights.
to, how you request early discharge from probation. You were here when I read it to someone else. You have those same rights, okay? If you go 3 months, no violation. If your probation officer does not automatically submit a request for early discharge, you can submit that request using the MC 512 form off the court website. You would file that with the court. You'll also make sure the city attorney gets a copy. I have not set a hearing for those, but if one was set, you would not be, have the right to have a court appointed counsel. You would have to represent yourself or hire an attorney, okay? Do you have any questions about those rights?
No,
Oh. Do you have any questions about your probation?
no, no.
That is for the record.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, sir.
Should he report to right
You
downstairs?
should, while he's here, get all set up and find out who his probation officer is.
Yeah.
I have a current
Then we'll
court-
set up on Zoom.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Mr.
Corky,
Mr.
Walker.
Or he is represents himself.
Do you need Mr. Corky? He's representing himself?
That's me. Yes.
Okay. I guess you guys can go back to your office so you can get on Zoom.
Or we can handle Mr. Horky first. Whatever you.
Um, Could I possibly speak with Miss Walker in a breakout room?
Mr. Goodrich, did you need to speak with anyone else that is here on Zoom
Uh,
that you can see?
yes, can I speak with the person with the Galaxy A02? I think that might be Miss Kaysen.
Ma'am, on the Galaxy, can you identify yourself, please? Mr. Goodrich, she might be sleeping.
All right, yes. Okay, I think Mr. Hagler and I are all set. Can I speak with Derek Mitchell?
Yeah, that's me.
Person on the Galaxy A02s, can you hear us?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Jennifer Kaysen.
Mr. Goodrich, I'll put you in a room with Kaysen first and then switch you over to Mitchell.
Okay.
Luke, you're already in room 1, so you can just go back there.
Thank you.
Ms. Horky, you need, or Miss Kaysen, you need to go to the breakout room.
How do I do that? It like kicked me off and brought me to this.
Good morning. Who just joined on the Moto G Pure?
Amy Lehman. Yeah. Right there, and in that cupboard right there.
Okay, are you ready with Mr. Horky?
We are, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Craig Horky, file number is 22-016870D. Parents for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Mr. Horky has already been advised of his right to counsel, but he's waived that right and elected to represent himself. That's still the case, Mr. Horky?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, we have here pretrial for one count of operating with a 0.08 or higher blood alcohol. Oh, how are we proceeding on this, counsel?
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Horky and he has in fact completed an assessment at this time. And he's working to get a copy of that over to our office so we can review it. At this time, the city is requesting a 1-week adjournment so that we can review the completed assessment.
October 24th at 10:30. October 24th at 10:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No problem. Do you have any questions, Mr. Horky?
I do not at this time.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay. Let's see. Did he need to speak to Ms. Casey? Do we know?
He spoke with Casey, was speaking with Mitchell, and then Ms. Walker wants to speak with him when he comes out of that.
Ms. Casey, I'm gonna put you in a private meeting room so you can read the instructions for virtual court, okay? McCollum, what is he in warrant status for? I put that up here. Yes, he's a trip pay for complete still. So I don't know. Did they appear last week? I don't think it was, I think they were on a stay. And he said it said it was set for a hearing on the 12th. It said that notice returned on third. For the hearing? But did anybody appear? I guess not, because they never received it, because we still got the mail thing. What about the attorneys? Who was the attorney? Until says that she represents just Jasmine. Who does? Till? Yeah. So I think Brown failed to appear. Okay, Mr. Goodrich. Are you ready with Ms. Kaysen?
Yes, we are ready in there.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jennifer Lee Kaysen. I have 3 files. File numbers 22-01890, 22L273, 7311, and 7313. Council appearance, please.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing, Your Honor.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Kaysen in this matter.
Okay, today's the date that was set for a pre-trial on each of these files. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Kaysen would like to accept an offer from the city attorney whereby she would plead to an amended charge of allowing a suspended person to drive, and the 2 civil infraction matters would be dismissed.
Ms. Kaysen, is that correct? Need to unmute, please. You have to unmute your device. We can't hear you, Ms. Kaysen.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Kaysen, you are represented by Mr. Goodrich from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed in this matter to trial, and you have the right to have a jury trial, or you can have a non-jury trial. At the time of trial, ma'am, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You have the right to remain silent, not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence that you believe would further a defense to these charges. You have the right to have the city bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charge or charges being brought against you. And they have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. In order to accept the plea and to plead guilty to an amended charge of allowing a suspended person, you would have to give up each of those rights today. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody threatening you to get you to give up your rights and plead guilty today?
No,
Has any promises been made to get you to plead guilty?
no, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
As to the amended charge of allowing a suspended person to drive, how do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Mr. Goodrich, I'm assuming you're going to do a factual basis to the original charge.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Kaysen, on or about July 13th of 2022, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And was that on Washington Street?
Yes, sir.
And is that located in the city of Lansing, County of Hingham, state of Michigan?
Yes, sir, it is.
And while you were operating that vehicle, were you doing so when you did not have a valid or proper license?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I believe we have a factual basis to the original charge in this matter.
Any questions from the city?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Your fine is going to be $200. When can you make payment?
I can make payment next week. I can make the full payment.
Okay, I'll note here in the file that you'll make payment in full no later than October 28th, okay?
Okay.
If you do need an extension, you need to notify the court. Otherwise, what they'll do is they'll set it for a show cause hearing, okay?
Okay.
You can make payment online using your file number from this case, or you can come up, make payment in person at the criminal traffic window. You can also mail a check or money order to the court attaching the case number, okay?
Thank you.
No problem, you're all set, ma'am. We did Megan's already. Kayla Walker, I believe, needs to speak to you. Is that correct? You're all set, Ms. Casey.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
we spoke briefly, but she had to make a phone call to try to get an update.
No problem. Let me put you both in a private meeting room.
Okay.
but I had got here really early to go.
Sounds good. Are we ready with Ms. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Kayla Walker, file number 22-00461. Council appearance, please.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing, Your Honor.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Walker in this matter.
Thank you. Today's date that was set for a pre-trial. We have one count of high BAC and then a false info. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, and we have previously requested adjournments for Ms. Walker to get an assessment done in the case. She has gotten that assessment done. Unfortunately, CMH did not email it to me until about 3 minutes ago. So we would just ask that the court set this for a final pretrial and trial. We will review this, get a copy of it over to the city and see if we can get something worked out ahead of that final pretrial.
It's not, I have no problem just setting it for another pretrial. I don't need to do a final pretrial.
Okay, we can do that.
Do another pretrial, October 31st at 10 a.m.
October 31st at 10.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m.
Okay.
Do you have any questions today, Ms. Walker?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Sorry.
Okay, then you're all set. Ms. Walker, we'll see you on the 31st.
Thank you.
No problem. And you met with Mr. Mitchell already, that's correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Derek Mitchell, file numbers 22L2746842 and 841. Council appearance, please.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Mitchell.
Today's date set for Mitchell. Okay, today's date set for pretrial and explanation hearing. Are we proceeding?
Your Honor, in speaking with Mr. Mitchell, he's deciding to accept an offer in this case whereby he would plead to the no ops in this matter, and the speeding ticket would be reduced to impeding traffic so that he will not have any points against his license in this matter.
Okay, you want to accept that, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. In the failure to display a valid license, sir, you have the right to proceed to a trial. You have the right to be represented by counsel at the time of trial. You are represented by Mr. Goodrich from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right at trial to have a jury trial or a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent at trial until proven guilty. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the city intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial you believe would further a defense to this charge. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You're going to give up all of those rights if you plead guilty to the charge. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is anybody threatening you to get you to give up your rights today?
No.
Has any promises been made to you if you give up your rights?
No.
Are you giving up your rights freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
As to the charge of failure to display license, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Counterfactual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, Mr. Mitchell, on or about September 6th of 2022, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
And were you doing so in the city of Lansing, county of Hingham, state of Michigan?
Yes.
And did there come a time that you came into contact with the police?
Yes.
And did they request to see your driver's license at that point?
Yes.
And did you fail to display a valid license to the officer on that occasion?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I believe we have a factual basis for failing to display a valid license.
Any questions from the city?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. I am going to. So he does not have a valid license, that's correct?
That is correct.
Okay, your fine in this matter will be $200. As to the speeding being amended to an impeding traffic, you're accepting responsibility, Mr. Mitchell? For the
Yes.
speeding? Okay, your fine in that one will be $125. It's a total of $325 between the two files. When and how do you intend to make payment?
Next week. A payment
Are
plan?
you gonna pay in full?
No.
What are you gonna pay next week?
I could pay like $50.
Okay, what are you gonna pay the next $50?
A week after that.
Are you proposing to pay weekly payments of $50 until paid in full?
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna make sure you're gonna make your first $50 payment by October 28th, which is next week, Friday. That you'll make payments of $50 per week until paid in full. Your first $50 payments are gonna be applied to the failure to display license, just so you're aware, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions about how you make payment?
No.
Okay, you're all set then. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask Mr. Goodrich a question?
First, will you start your video, please?
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Are you David Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me just a moment, Mr. Rodriguez. There were people ahead of you. Do you need to speak with Ms. Lehman?
No, we are ready to proceed on Ms. Lehman's matter.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Amy Lee Lehman, file numbers 22L27, 23481 and 482. Can I have your appearance, counsel?
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Lehman.
Thank you. Today was the date Ms. Lehman set for a pretrial and an explanation hearing. How are you doing, ma'am? Ms. Lehman, can you hear me? I need you to unmute your device, please.
There it goes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, ma'am. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. Today, again, was set for pretrial and explanation hearing. How are we proceeding on these?
Your Honor, Ms. Lehman would like to request a 60-day adjournment to give her an opportunity to try to get her driver's license in order with the hope of possibly getting these matters dismissed.
At 9:30. December 19th at 9:30.
Thank you.
No problem. Do you have any questions today?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
Good. None from the defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you on December 19th, Ms. Lehman. What's your name, sir?
My stuff died, so I hurried up and came down here. Yeah, I was on my laptop, it died out on me.
Oh, okay.
I came down here, I was on.
Do you have like a microphone in front of you? Yeah, I thought I saw, I did see you. Mr. Goodrich, I think you're in the building still, Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, I am.
Do you need to speak to Mr. Hagler?
I will run down there. We should be all set.
We ready to move forward.
He's ready to move forward. He doesn't need to speak to you.
Okay.
Cause I had a hard thing, but me, none of that.
Well, you probably got a ticket by now then, because they don't play around.
I ain't messed up about it. I had to pay both of them, but I ain't want no warrant. I had to hear this.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Brian Lamar Hagler, file number 22-01909. Have your appearance, counsel.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing, Your Honor.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Hagler.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date that we reset this matter. We were here on the 12th. The city offered to amend to a civil infraction disturbing the peace. Defendant requested to have it reset so the video can be reviewed to see if there was any evidence that would be in his favor. I don't see where I received any motions of any kind, Mr. Goodrich.
Yes, Your Honor, we
offered today.
yes, we did review the video. We received that, and at this time, he would like to accept the civil infraction in this matter of disturbing the peace.
That's correct, sir. Okay, your fine is $50. When can you make payment?
I paid $50. I come back and pay it tomorrow.
Okay, I previously was gonna give you a $75 fine, but now I think you got a ticket, and ticket's probably gonna be about $20.
All right, that's cool. Hopefully not though.
Have a good one.
Try to slide in on the graces of God. Thank you.
Well, I'm tell you about that parking department.
Oh, man,
They don't play around.
I could have got a speeding ticket on the way here.
And that wasn't necessary.
I'm like, man,
You could have just called your attorney.
I didn't even know where his number was at. Sometimes you just gotta be accountable. You gotta hurry up.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I
Well,
had to
don't
hurry
speed
up
on the
with
way
that.
back. Get back safely, okay?
All right, I'm a cruise. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Mr. Rodriguez needs to speak with Mr. Goodrich, correct?
Yeah, I just had to ask, did he get my email?
Okay, let me put you in his meeting room in room 1. So what you're saying is nobody came for their show cause? Is that what's happening today? Pretty disappointed. It's a lot of bench warrant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Mr. Goodrich, did you need to talk to either Taylor Jungle or Payne?
Yes, I do need to speak with Miss Jungle.
Okay. Are you ready, Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, I'm ready on Ms. Jungle's case and Ms. Payne's case and Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus David Joseph Rodriguez, file number 22-00549. Council appearance.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, here to represent Mr. Rodriguez in this case.
Okay, today was the date. We discussed this matter to allow the defendant to obtain a license. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez has provided evidence that he has gotten a license. This time I would defer to Mr. Staples in the city of Lansing.
Your Honor, the only question the city of Lansing would have would be regarding payment of the civil infractions. Otherwise, given that Mr. Rodriguez has obtained his learner permit, we would be willing to dismiss the no license, never applied misdemeanor.
And I can inform the court that Mr. Rodriguez owes $180 from a civil infraction at the date of this hearing. We talked about that. He's planning to make payments in the near future regarding that.
Okay. What was the question? Was that your question, Mr. Staples?
That was, Your Honor. Then the city will will move to dismiss the no license, never applied misdemeanor.
No license is dismissed. I will say this for Mr. Rodriguez, you were before the magistrate on the violation of child restraint for which you had a default judgment. You owed $180. She gave you a 30-day extension to pay. You've not paid.
I ain't know. My bad.
There was also an extension because you also saw her on the default judgment for failure to yield causing an accident. She gave you 30 additional days. That 30-day expiration was September 4th. So I'm not even sure why you weren't set for a show cause yet, or maybe you are. When are you gonna pay these?
I could make a payment like next week.
How much you paying today?
Today?
Yeah.
I can't pay. I just went to court last month.
Not on these though. You never came to court on these, so there was a default judgment. You owe $192 on the failure to yield causing accident. You also owe $180 on the violation of child restraint. Those amounts were imposed on March 18, 2022.
Okay, I can make a payment as soon as possible.
How much are you paying today?
I can't make a payment today.
You're gonna make a payment this week, or else I'm issuing a show cause.
All right.
So you're gonna make a payment of $25 no later than Friday, okay?
All right. Yes, ma'am.
You know how to make a payment on these?
Yeah, I'll just come up there.
Okay, very good. You're all set then, sir.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. On the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Taylor Rose Jungle, file numbers 22L2705583 5581, 5582. Council appearance.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Jungle.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set. for Trials. And an explanation hearing, or 2 explanation hearings. How are we proceeding on these?
Your Honor, last time we asked for time to try to get evidence of Ms. Jungle having sold her vehicle. She has made efforts to do that. However, it's apparent that she's going to need to get the Secretary of State's office involved. So we would just like to ask one last 30-day adjournment in this matter with the hope of getting that taken care of.
How much time are you looking for?
Probably 30 days.
November 21st at November 21st at 9 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
None from the city, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Hey, you're all set for today, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
No problem. Okay. You need, who's representing Mr. Gahangu?
I represent Mr. Gahangu. I don't need to speak with him, but I do need to speak with Mr. Staples and Ms. O'Boyle regarding his matter.
Okay, I'll put you in a private meeting room. I'm just gonna put you all in room 3. The other, the city attorneys are already in room 3. Good morning, ma'am, in the black t-shirt. What's your name?
Amanda Harriman.
Can I speak with Mr. Gahungu at this point?
Mr. Who? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, ma'am, why would you think that he's talking to you?
Sorry.
Are we ready to proceed, or Mr. Gahango?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Zachariah Gahangu, file number 22-00973. I also have 22L2713632. Council appearances.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, here to represent Mr. Gahungu.
Here, today's date set for a pre-trial and explanation hearing. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, and speak with Mr. Gahungu. He was able to get his driver's license in order in this matter. However, he was not able to get the insurance taken care of. So he is deciding to accept an offer from the city of Lansing whereby they would dismiss the criminal charge of driving with a suspended license, and they would reduce the no insurance misdemeanor down to the civil infraction of failing to pay or failing to provide or to show the insurance, the civil infraction. He is willing to accept that.
Okay. As to the driving while license suspended, he was able to get the license.
Yes,
What is the offer on that?
that one was going to be dismissed.
Okay. And we're amending the no insurance to what again?
Failing to provide proof of insurance.
Mr. Gahungo, you want to accept that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your fine is $145. When can you make payment?
How much, Your Honor?
$145.
Next week, Your Honor. Friday.
I'm sorry?
Next week, Friday.
You're gonna pay it in full next week, Friday?
Yes.
Okay, next Friday's date is October 28th. I'll note that you'll make payment in full by then, okay?
Okay.
You can either come up to the court and make payment at the criminal traffic window, or you can pay online using your case number, okay, sir?
Yes, I think I can come to the court because I don't know how to pay it online.
Okay, it's probably easier to come to court then, okay?
Okay.
You're all set. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good one. Okay, I have Yana Robinson here.
Your Honor, we are ready to proceed on the Payne and Robinson matters. I will need to speak with Ms. Harriman.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Kiana Rochelle Robinson, file number 20-02790, council appearance.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, here to represent Ms. Robinson.
Date that was set for a pre-trial. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Robinson would like to request that this matter be set for a final pretrial conference.
A
October 31st at 8:15.
Why are we resending for final pre-trial? Are we proceeding to trial?
Your Honor, this is a case that I believe requires non-police witnesses.
Okay, sounds good. A trial date to then.
Which would be November 7th at 8:15.
No, November 7th. Okay, final pre-trial is gonna be August the 3rd. I'm sorry, not August, October 31st
Yeah.
at 8:15 in the morning in person at the court. If this matter proceeds to trial beyond, then it'll be November 7th at 8:15, also in person at the court.
November 7th was the trial date, Your Honor.
Correct. Do you have any questions today, Ms. Robinson?
No, I do not. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and just for the record, law enforcement officers would not be required to appear for this matter. It will be up to the city attorney's office if they can proceed on this matter without law enforcement. Any additional matters for the record?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set for today, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. So on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Talia Cheryl Payne. Final number is 22-02298. Have your appearances, please.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Payne in this matter.
Okay, Ms. Payne, we need your fingerprints.
I did my fingerprinting.
When did you do that, ma'am?
Last week
Okay.
at the I think it was the jail, the city hall.
Okay, thank you. Okay, today's the date that was set for pre-trial and driving while license is suspended. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, in speaking with Ms. Payne, she would like to request 60 days to see if she can get her license in order, and I believe hopefully get the matter dismissed if she does so.
And the city has no objection to that, Your Honor.
Mm-mm.
19th at 9 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Could you repeat that one more time?
December 19th at 9 a.m.
Nothing further for the city.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, Ms. Payne. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Same to you, ma'am. I'll put you, Mr. Goodrich, and Ms. Harriman in the same room. We ready on Ms. Harriman?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Amanda Lee Harriman, file numbers 22L2734581 and 82. Council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Harriman.
Okay. Ms. Harriman has two files here set for pretrial. How are we proceeding on these?
Your Honor, Ms. Harriman is decided to accept an offer from the city attorney's office whereby the traffic device, one would be dismissed, and the failing to display ops would be amended to allowing a suspended person to drive.
That's the offer you want to accept, Ms. Harriman? Ms. Harriman?
Yes, I'm sorry. I can barely hear. I do accept.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
You can put your hand down, please. Okay, Ms. Harriman, you have the right to proceed to a trial in the failure to display valid license case. At the time of trial, you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be represented by counsel at trial, and you do have representation by Mr. Goodrich from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the prosecution, which is the city attorney's office, intends to call at the time of trial. And you also have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence you believe would further defense to the charge. You have the right to have the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt in order to accept the offer to plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver. You would need to give up those rights. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to get you to give up those rights and plead guilty today?
No, ma'am.
Any promises made to you if you give up your rights today and plead guilty?
What was that?
Any promises made to you if you give up your rights to plead guilty today?
No, no promises.
Oh, okay. You're pleading guilty to the amended charge of allowing an unlicensed driver because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As to the amended charge of allowing an unlicensed driver, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Can I have a factual basis, please?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Harriman, on or about August 30th of 2022, were you operating a motor vehicle on North Cedar?
Yes, I was.
And is that located in the city of Lansing, county of Ingham, state of Michigan?
Correct.
And while you were operating that vehicle, had your license been suspended?
Yes.
And did you allow yourself to drive your vehicle knowing that your license had been suspended?
Yes, I had to take my son to school.
Okay, Your Honor, I believe we have a factual basis for allowing a suspended person to drive.
Any questions from the city?
None, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. Sign your plea to make freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Your fine is $200. When can you make payment?
I can pay it in full come next Friday, or I can do half this week and half next week. I'd rather come in next Friday and just pay it in full.
I'll note that you'll pay in full by October 28th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about how you make payment or where you can do that?
No, I heard you talk to the last guy. Come up there and make the payment, and I don't do the online thing. I'm sorry, I'm learning. I will
No
be up there
worries.
in person.
Thank you. You're all set then.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Luke. Thanks, everyone. God bless.
Same to you. Okay, let's see. Who's on the iPhone?
Yes,
What's your name?
Jessica Banks.
Yeah. Your Honor, I have Miss Banks tomorrow with Judge Ward at 10 o'clock. We may have gotten a date mixed up.
Today's the 17th, right?
No, it is the 17th, yes.
That's 17/11.
Yeah, and she has a blue sheet, which is for my court. I'm trying to understand why. What's the file number on there, ma'am? Case number.
The case number 19L24982222. Just driving without operator's license.
Today. She's supposed to be before Judge Ward today.
Okay.
So they sent you the wrong Zoom information.
Okay, I'm not gonna be penalized for that, am I?
No, you won't be penalized. We'll email her and tell her that you are logging in now to her courtroom virtually. I'm gonna give you her meeting ID.
Okay, go ahead.
934-258.
Your Honor, it's
Oh, I think I said that
285.
wrong.
It's
It is,
285.
I was gonna say, I said that wrong. 934-285.
Hold on, 934-285.
285-9288.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And emails being sent that you're heading over now, okay?
Appreciate that. Have a good
No
day.
problem. You too. Okay. Brianna Herron is here.
Yes,
Do you need
ma'am.
to speak to, do you need to speak to her, Mr. Goodrich?
Not that
Yeah.
I'm aware of.
I would like to speak with her for just a minute.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No problem. I'll add her to room 1. Okay, who's on David's iPad?
Good morning, Your Honor. David Myers on behalf of Thina Manella. We're here for a pretrial today.
Okay, fine, in Manila. Do you need to speak with the city attorney?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna add you to room 3.
Thank you.
Are we ready on Ms. Heron?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me find the file. And this file of all these people who did not appear.
Your Honor, while we're doing that, I think Mr. Myers would like to be put in a breakout room with his client so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone if you are able to accommodate that.
Thank you, Mr. Staples. I would, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Myers, if you just go back in that room, then I'll add her to that room.
Thank you.
No problem. We're on the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Brianna Heron, file number 22L2713291. Council appearance.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Heron.
Okay, today's date that was set, or reset, for a pre-trial. We originally reset it to allow Ms. Heron to obtain her license. She been able to do that.
Your Honor, Ms. Heron did make efforts to do so. However, she is, since she was informed that her vision has declined to the point that that's not going to work out, at least for the time being. So at this point, Ms. Heron would like to plead his charge in this matter to driving with an expired license.
Okay, and that's correct, Ms. Heron.
Yes, Your Honor.
You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
Okay, you can put your hand down, ma'am. Okay, in this matter, you do have the right to proceed to a trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent at trial until proven guilty. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the prosecution, which is the city attorney's office, intends to call against you. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence at trial that you believe would further a defense to this charge. And then lastly, you have the right to have the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you. You have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. In order to plead guilty to the charge, you have to give up each of those rights. Do you wish to give up all of those rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to give your rights up and plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Did anybody making a promise to you if you waived your rights today and plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And so you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
As to driving while license is expired, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Not a factual basis, Mr. Goodrich.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm sorry, Ms. Heron, were you operating a motor vehicle on or about April 23rd of 2022?
Yes, sir.
And did you do that in the city of Lansing, County of Ingham, State of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
And while you were doing that, prior to operating that vehicle, had your driver's license expired?
I wasn't aware of that. No, I was made aware of it once I was pulled over and he let me know.
Okay, but you
So
did-
yes, technically, yes. Yes, sir.
So-
Yes, sir, I did.
Your Honor, I believe that's all the elements of driving with an expired license.
Okay, any questions from the city?
None, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea, and I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Your fine, ma'am, is $175. When can you make payment?
I could actually make that payment this Friday.
You know how to make payment online, or you can come up in person and make payment at the criminal traffic window.
Okay.
Okay, unless you have any questions for me, you're all set.
Nope, that's it. And could you just, what was the amount again? I just want to write it down really quick.
$175.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem, you're all set, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Sina Manila, file number 22-01735. Council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Good morning again, Your Honor. David Myers on behalf of Thina Manella.
Okay, and today is a date that was set for a pretrial. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, I just talked to Attorney Staples. The city is going to offer the impaired driving down from the OWI high BAC. So at this point, unless Mr. Staples has anything to add to that, I believe we are prepared to enter that plea if the court's available to do so.
That's a correct recitation of the offer from the city, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Manila, you want to accept that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
I swear.
Okay, you can put your hand down, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Manila, you're represented by counsel by way of Mr. David Myers. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial, and you have the right to have a jury trial, or you can waive your jury trial and have a non-jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you or to imply that you're guilty. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses at the trial or present evidence at trial that you believe would further defense to this charge. You also have the right to have the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You would need to give up each of those rights today in order to accept the offer to impaired driving. Do you understand that?
I do. I accept the offer and waive my rights.
Okay, is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights?
Yes, I waive my rights and accept the offer.
No, I asked, was anybody threatening you? Who's threatening you?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part. Nobody's threatening me.
Okay, has anybody made any promises to you if you waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, nobody has done that.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No,
Do you understand that a guilty plea could result in having a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer, or you may have to report it to a future employer? You understand that?
yes, I understand that.
You understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may have an impact on any immigration status you may be seeking. You understand
Yes,
that?
I understand.
Okay. As to the amended charge of impaired driving, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Have a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Miss Manila, were you at the intersection of South Pennsylvania Street and East Hazel on May 27th, 2022 at about 2:30 a.m.?
Yes, I was.
And is that area within the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes,
And at that time, did you drive through a flashing red light?
yes, that's correct.
And had you been drinking prior to that driving event?
Yes,
And due to the alcohol in your system, was your driving impaired?
yes.
Your Honor, I believe that suffices as a factual basis. However, I'd be happy to add to that if you'd like.
Any questions from the city?
None at this time, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be set for sentencing. It's going to be Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 8:30, unless that conflicts with your calendar, Mr. Meyer.
It is fine with my calendar, Your Honor, Ms. Manella.
I actually have my PhD comprehensive exams the day after that. So if we could move a week later, it'd be better.
Yeah, no, I'm only worried about his conflicts.
Yeah,
I
then,
recognize your exam the next day, but I
yeah,
won't even think
if
I'm gonna
it's
be-
not
I
possible,
won't be
it'll
here
be.
the following week.
Mhm.
You will not be here, Your Honor?
I will not.
Okay. I mean, it does work for me, Your Honor, although I do have the concern about her PhD program. Is there
She
any,
says she says she has an exam the next day.
correct?
Not
Is it a,
conflict the day of.
correct?
It's not a conflict the day of, so that's not a court conflict.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Is that, would you say is December 5th at 11? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's at 8:30 in the morning.
At 8:30 in the morning. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Prior to that, ma'am, you need to meet with the probation department. You need to turn yourself into them within 48 hours in person. They're here on the 5th floor of our building so that they can set you up for a pre-sentence report and provide the court with a recommendation. Did she do a assessment for substance abuse already?
She has, Your Honor, at Cognitive Consultants through the, it's on the list, I believe we were provided.
Okay, that needs to be provided to probation so that she won't be ordered to do a new one.
Thank you.
And then they'll prepare the court with a pre-sentence report and recommendation. Your sentencing can be via a Zoom if all parties consent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The city of Lansing consents to sentencing via Zoom.
Your Honor, we would consent to sentencing via Zoom as well.
Okay, very good. Okay, so do you have any questions about what you need to do between now and then, Ms. Manella?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so don't forget that you need to be present to the probation department in our building. What is today, the 17th? No later than 11:30 on Wednesday, the 19th, okay?
Okay. I can do that.
Okay, very good. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for defense, Your Honor.
I guess there's nothing from the city either, so you're all set.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Same to
Bye.
you. Mr. Goodrich, are you ready on Mr. Poe?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Bernard Deshawn Poe, file number 22L26789551.
At Staples for the city of Lansing.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Pogue.
Okay, today's the date that was set for a driving while, I'm sorry, failed to display license or valid license. Pre-trial, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Pogue has still not been able to get his license at this point. When I talked with him last week, he explained that he thought he could still get it and wanted to request an additional 30 days to make one last effort to try to get his license, Your Honor.
And the city has no objections to that, Your Honor.
Monday, November 21st.
Monday, November 21st at 9 a.m. Do you have any questions, Mr. Pogue?
No.
Okay, any additional matters for the record? Counsel?
None for the city, Your Honor.
None from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're all set for today, Mr. Pogue.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, anybody heard from Austin Rogers?
Your Honor, I did speak with him last week and was anticipating him being here. But I have not heard from him this morning at all.
Okay, we'll issue a bench warrant. We'll hold it for 48 hours. Elmer Bird.
He declined a public defender.
Okay, let's make sure him on all three. %. Registration should have been a civil infraction explanation hearing. Robert Pearl Young before.
I have not had any contact with Mr. Pearl.
One, two, three, four. It looks like when he saw the magistrate a couple of weeks ago, he said he was inpatient rehab at the last time he missed court. He did provide his mom's number. Is that the number that you have?
Let me check on his.
It's in 7820.
No, I have a different number for him.
Okay, we'll have Mr. Bigelow message you this number.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have that as an alternate number. Yes.
Oh, okay, sounds good. For Valencia.
Valente is the one I think, as of last week, was in the Ingham County Jail. I thought she was still there unless she had gotten released the last couple days.
Nope, she's no longer there. which weren't all 6 of them. I think that's all I have for this morning.
Yep, okay. All right, thank you, Judge Ice. We'll see you again at 1:15.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. See you at 1:15.